Students often get mixed up here. This mini lecture is on the proteins that are embedded in cell membranes. So the functions listed here apply only to proteins embedded in cell membranes, not all proteins. And this is why you see the gray phospholipid bilayer in each of these pictures. And on the bottom right are even labels. It labels the extracellular matrix on the outside of the cell. We will encounter all types of proteins embedded in cell membranes. The most often encountered is the first listed here, channels. Pathways for molecules to cross the phospholipid bilayer barrier. The rest of this mini lecture goes into much more detail about the various types of channels that we will encounter in this class. But before we list those, let's just be sure to take another look at these functions, which are functions of cell membrane proteins. These are not functions of all types of proteins. We are familiar with enzymatic proteins from a previous mini lecture. We know about enzymes that might float in the blood, but these enzymes instead are embedded into the cell membrane instead of free floating around the cell or in the blood. They usually have some part of them, some structure dangling off into the cytosol where they catalyze their reaction. When we get to speaking about hormones and the immune system, we will talk about receptor proteins that are embedded in cell membranes and respond to chemical signals. For example, your heart makes a hormone. No, actually, let's strike that. Your brain, it is your brain. Final answer. Your brain makes a hormone called the antidiuretic hormone, and it helps you conserve water when you're dehydrated. This hormone, it floats around your body, but it only communicates with cells in your kidney. No other cells, only kidney cells, have the specific receptors in their cell membranes that would help them receive this signal. Your immune system has cells that are capable of recognizing your own cells. Your cells have specific proteins embedded in the cell membranes, and those proteins are almost like a sticker that says, "Hello, my name is Amy." You know those blue stickers? Ruined many a sweater with those. In many autoimmune diseases, your immune system stops recognizing the identity proteins on your cells, or the identity proteins on your cells begin to be made in a malformed structure. Either way, your immune system is no longer able to say, "Oh, that cell is made by Amy," or whatever your name is. When we look at the heart, we will see cells that are bonded together and contract in a coordinated fashion. These cells have structures that are called gap junctions, and they allow these cells to share cytoplasm. And the last type of protein that we find embedded in cell membranes are these anchoring proteins. These proteins are capable of connecting or anchoring the cells to things in or outside the cell. So it can bind to the cell's cytoskeleton that's on the inside, or as the picture indicates here, some collagen fibers that are actually on the outside of the cell.